I was taught that life is a meritocracy. Let's start there. I don't know what I'm doing, but let's do it with a microphone. That's the energy we have on here. I spent my early 20s learning about adulthood, getting a job, and learning that most jobs are actually a bit of a scam. Like, we just have to pretend to do our job well enough, but not so well that we actually fix the problem, because then we wouldn't be required anymore. I started complaining about taxes and I got interested in plants and furniture. That was a good part of adulting, and I thought that more or less adulting and the rest of life really is going to be about these things. But there is one thing I did not account for, and that is the amagrosia. I'm saying it on purpose like that. I word limbo. Because it is not one problem that you have when the I word, let's just say it, immigration kind of hits you. You got a broken wrist and you spend time in the hospital and then it gets repaired. No, this is a lifestyle. This is a genre. Okay? In the last 2 years, I've been navigating this, and I've realized that immigration limbo is just a lot of waiting. And I don't think you can optimize waiting. I'm confused. Everything I thought I knew is now out the window. I was taught that life is a meritocracy. Let's start there. It started when I was 5, okay? I was taught that if you get good grades and do good things, you will be rewarded, which is weird because the whole point of adulting is realizing that meritocracy doesn't exist, and our parents and society and elders are supposed to raise us to be part of this world, right? Why are they raising us to believe in meritocracy? What is that about? Because now I have to not only unlearn the meritocracy part of it, I now have to just wait for years until this thing is sorted, which is entirely not in my control, by the way, without being able to optimize any of this waiting. Now, the good girls part of it is the part where you believe in meritocracy at first. As a good girl, you do the right thing, you'd get the best grades, because if you don't, there is violence awaiting you at home. So you kind of have to get A plus, not A plus. You do that. You get into the good college and then the better college and then the best college. You get a job that is enables your parents to brag, like not brag, but just be proud of, like, hey, mere beti ko ye mila. So you do that. That's the good girl part of it, right? Late 20s for me has been about realizing that all of that was a load of BS, to say the least. What was I raised for? Meritocracy doesn't exist. It's a big lie. What the F? Like, what was I raised for? So this is me trying to make sense of the waiting part of immigration limbo and whether there can be something productive in here. Waiting is a lot of work. Now, as an adult, I thought that most jobs suck. I wish I could work 4 hours a day and that would be enough, because more than that, you really don't have to do much. Right now, I kind of don't have that. Right? I have a lot of time because I'm waiting and because I'm married. I'm married, so I can sleep in if I want. You'd think that's good, right? That's actually good. Yes, the sleeping in part is good. But there is a crisis there about identity. The more I have lived. So what's been infuriating me about this waiting is two things. First, I noticed that everything is centered around work. Everybody's life is centered around work. And we don't really know who we are outside of work. So if you're not allowed to work, if you're not allowed to earn money, which is kind of a very basic thing in this day and age to live life, then it's like I don't feel very human. Most of the times I don't feel like I am me or I am human. I just feel like a rock, I guess, or I feel like a plant, because the plants have like leaves and I have arms and legs, I guess. The thing is, I do like work. I like labor. I love labor. I just don't like the container that it comes in, because the container that it comes in enables exploitation. Like, that's the only plate that it comes on. I don't want to work 12 hours a day and I don't want to spend 2 hours in commute, right? But there is no secret third option. I'll do another podcast episode on that. But the thing is, you'd think that now not having to work is great, because immigration limbo, the one thing with it is that I am not allowed to work. And with all of the things that I did right, everything legal, everything perfect, every single stamp I got or a paper clip I got, we can be traced back, right? I have done everything right. But it doesn't matter. That's how it is. Let's just leave it at that. So you think that waiting around and not having to go to corporate work is heaven, but the thing is, especially people who grew up in like loud cities with community, you don't have anywhere to go. And like you spent 12 years in Azkaban trying to be an engineer. You studied some of the boring subjects. And it like I know it's not a meritocracy, but Indians are so incredibly risk averse that we still find ways to get the boring degrees to get us some sort of a job so we have money, right? Even in a non meritocracy world, Indians figured out that the least risk free option is to go into the boring STEM degrees, get a boring STEM based job, and yeah, you have a life and then you can have a house and a kid and a dog and a whatever. Even then, even then, it doesn't work anymore. That's the world we are living in right now. And when I arrived in this country first, every single person around me told me that, oh my god, immigration is like a 2 second thing. You'll feel bad, but then it'll be amazing, and then you'll be like really happy that it got. You won't even notice it. That's what people told me. It's been 2 years. I'm in the exact same situation as I was when I came to this country. Thousands and thousands and thousands of hard earned money later, and a lot of applications later, after paying taxes, obviously, and maybe convincing the people that, hey, my profile is good and my education is good and I'd be great for a job here, but that doesn't matter. The second thing is experiencing immigration limbo in your adulthood comes with a bit of a gut punch because everybody online is a productivity influencer. Every guru or every like self-help mentor, even the ones who call themselves as a cool self-help mentor, not a regular self-help mentor, they're always like, yeah girl, do the thing, just post what you want to post. I can't. I have to notice stupid metaphors so that I am playing it safe, right? I can't just say exactly what I think. I have to be very careful about it. So this whole productivity advice of just start a brand, just start a entrepreneur, like, oh really? I wish I had thought of that. Because you know what else I should do? I should just run a marathon in Antarctica without any preparation, you know? That would be good. I could just do 10 other things like that. Like, what do you mean? Just start an entrepreneur. Like, we have a gatekeeping problem. We have a problem of access. We don't have a productivity or a discipline problem. I'm tired and I cannot relate to most advice out there. I don't know what to do with all this advice of just do the thing or just like the real progress happens when you take uncomfortable steps, the exact steps we are not allowed to take. So, how do you do this? Well, the one good thing about waiting, of the eternal waiting and not having anything to do is you notice things. You have no choice but to notice things. I take a walk around my neighborhood and literally I will notice if a dog is being silly or if I notice if the grass is swaying in the wind. Like, I don't have anything else to notice. And after a while of noticing just about everything, your brain can't just think of them as individual little incidents. Your brain does this thing where it connects everything to everything. So everything is a metaphor for everything, you know, which is incredibly annoying and it has nowhere to go. And no one has asked for this, so it's kind of unbearable because all of the metaphors and all of the observations kind of come at you and they are in abundance, which is not something I've ever known. I've only like known the scarcity mindset. Again, let's talk about it later. That causes a big collapse in your identity and you don't know what to do with your hands anymore because of all these ideas and all of these thoughts in your head. I also noticed another like third thing. A lot of people think in years, like not a 5 year plan kind of way, but they think in years that, oh, few years later we'll do this and then a house and then this and that. But when your life is paused and you're still growing old even though your life is paused, like it's weird, you realize you can't really think about life in more than a few weeks because your entire life is, oh hey, if this thing happens by July, maybe that other thing can happen by December, and then maybe next year February I can go to my friend's wedding. Like all every every single decision that you want to make is based on 10 other decisions, and these are not the kind of struggles or hurdles that make you smarter. They literally slow you down, and they just make you not resilient. They just waste your time. So my time is being wasted. But the good girl's guide to immigration limbo is, in my experience, stick a mic in your hand, speak in it. Notice all the stories and the things around you, because if they are inside you and rotting in your bloodstream, they will get the better of you and they will become devil thoughts. You want your blood clean, right? So put this out there. If the garbage is in your mind, don't let it be your problem. Like, I don't want to be an advisor, but what I mean is, just make it everybody else's problem. Just like post your thoughts out there, because the moment you do and the moment you click publish with that setting as public, not private, it's like your brain doesn't have to hold on to it anymore. The rest of the world can. Maybe someone relates to it and you can find a little community or whatever. But for the most part, there is no single other way for me to navigate the limbo. For 2 years, if you're not allowed to work, you're kind of not allowed to be a waitress or be a bartender or walk a dog. Nothing. So, you know what I did along with this? I started sprouting avocados. I was so goddamn bored. I have like 10 avocado seeds. Some of them didn't sprout. And then I got 10 more. And I have this collection of bottles on top of which is an avocado seed. And I think by the time I'm allowed to work, it will my avocado will have become a plant and borne fruit for it. Like, yeah, that's the kind of timeline we're talking about. I can't do anything. So I'm making this your problem instead. I gave myself a job. It doesn't feel like a job because I kind of enjoy it. And my whole thing was like, I thought jobs were supposed to suck. That is why you get paid to do them. I don't get paid to do this. I don't think I might ever. But I like this. And so I don't feel like this is work. But it still is work and it costs me, which is good. But this whole journey is about telling stories at the heart of it. I started making vlogs on YouTube and so many ideas flowed. I was like, huh? Like, I gave myself permission and now I just can't stop. So now I started a podcast channel and I am on my 15th episode, I guess, or I don't count. I am not counting anymore. And there's so much going on that the best thing I have been able to do in immigration limbo is to tell stories about it. And write essays on Substack about it. The same essay writing skill I used as a kid to get like 4 out of 5 sometimes. Very skill I'm using today. Except that it may make me money one day, but it doesn't matter if I am at the stage where I can earn money from this. I would have to turn off monetization anyway. I wouldn't, because I'm not allowed, right? So if you're finding yourself in said immigration limbo, even after doing every single thing right and legally, welcome. This is a club and no one's happy. Nobody knows nothing. But that's kind of okay. What we do here is, we don't advise other people to, hey, it'll get better. It doesn't. Everybody told me it'll get better, you'll be fine. I'm not. They're all like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't think about it. I'm still thinking about it. What are you talking about? What? Don't go on Reddit. Like, Reddit has equal and opposite. Reddit is good and written by real humans, but it triggers a lot of overthinking in me. Like, people have such contradictory views on Reddit that it's not really helping me. So do your thing, girl. This channel is where you will find some validation, if nothing else. And at least I'm not this great contrarian or devil's advocate here to debunk productivity theories. Not really. Productivity theories are great. I just don't think a lot of them apply to us. So the more we tell our stories, maybe we can create productivity frameworks or these little reframes that might benefit each other, instead of listening to 20-year-old white men telling us what to do. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're stuck in immigration limbo, welcome to my channel, girl. I did not do the intro, so I will do an exit. You are listening to Notes from a Desi Girl. My name is Manasi, or as the Flemish people in Belgium like to say, Manasi. They can seem to pronounce Dostoevsky and everything else, but they cannot pronounce Manasi. And the entirety of my channel is going to revolve around a lot of things, including that. Adulthood, identity, immigration, and psychology, and like all of it. So, This is where I'll leave you. Bye.